stop comparing your situation to anyone else's, and it makes sense. I mean, you are not everyone else. We are all different. And honestly, and I feel like too, like once someone's done something, it's already been done. Like you can't just recreate that. You really have to do things your own way. And you really can't compare your situation to other people's, because I know like just in business and other things, you could be like, well, this person got this or this person does that. But then in hindsight, you look back and then be like, well, that was because her uncle was the CEO of that company, or, something like that, and it's just like everyone's situation is different. Everyone's coming from a different place, and you can't compare yourself because you're never going to get the same thing that somebody else has, because you're two different people with two different lives.
And also too, like when you compare yourself to others, you're really just diminishing yourself. Like when you're comparing yourself, you're taking away from all of the great things that you're doing. And that's happened to me countless times. I'll go on Instagram and I'll feel really good about something that I've just done for work, let's say. And then I'll start scrolling and then I'll see someone else. And I'm just like, holy geez, like, what the hell am I even doing? And you're really just taking away from your own self-pride, your own success, and your own happiness, really. I mean, it's one of those things where it's so easy to do and everyone does it. I still do it. But again, it's like you're only hurting yourself. And you just have to accept that that's that person's journey and their life and what they're doing. And hey, if that's something that is triggering something inside of you to bring yourself down, then maybe instead of looking at it from that negative perspective, maybe you have to stop and like really assess and be like, hey, wait a second, maybe that is something that I want. What can I do to work towards that? Do you know what I mean? Like you can't be another person. So you just have to learn how to be someone that you're happy with and just be happy of the achievements that you are doing.
Yeah, I love that. You're so right about that.
You love it.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Right? We could be having like the time of our life and, have one small little breakthrough. And then you get online and you see someone like huge breakthrough. And then right away, you don't even feel good about yours anymore. It's like, you can't do that because then you're just discouraging yourself.
Yeah. And you want to be a girl's girl. You don't want to be the girl that's like, or the person that's like, they have this and they're like angry towards them and you beat yourself up and beat them up and all, like not physically, but mentally. And and then they may be like thinking something about like you that like really stands out too. Like in my career, it can be very competitive and I hold myself like to so many other people's standards. But then sometimes I realize, like in hindsight, I've talked to people and they were really like inspired by something that I did. And I think it's great to, and I really feel like I like to have one thing that's a red flag for friends is someone who sees someone's success and immediately has to tear them down and to tear themselves down and beat everyone up. When it's so good to see someone's success or see someone doing something and be like, that's really great. I'm so happy for them. And I want to see and learn from them and see if they can inspire me to accomplish something similar or go somewhere similar. And I love that point to it.
And things can just be a little bit more collaborative. Like even, like you don't have to take things as a competition. It's, working together. And you're right, like being a girl's girl, like that's what it's about. And, you're right, like you don't know what other people are thinking of you. Like I remember showing up to a photo shoot once and being so nervous to be there because it was like a really big project, whatever. And I remember one of the models was telling me that she was nervous to work with me. And I was blown away. I'm like, because I was nervous to be there. And I'm thinking like, I'm just like in my mind, I'm like, I don't really deserve to be here. Like, how did I get here? Like, whatever. And then the other model is telling me that she was nervous to work with me. So it's like, I didn't understand what she was saying, but it was very different than how I was viewing myself.
Exactly. And that's the thing too. People view you very differently than you view yourself. And I've learned that a lot in my life.